and welcome to CTRMRadio, a podcast by Commodity Technology Advisory, hosted on ctrmcenter.com and attcenter.net. My name is Irina Reitgruber, and today I will be talking with a panel of experts about data management. Many thanks to Jonathan Alger from ClearDox, Ellen Stars from CubeLogic, and Alexander Regnault from RadarRadar for participating. Please do like and share this podcast. Many thanks. We talk about data management today, and we start with a round of introduction. So, Ellen, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, my name is Ellen Stars. I'm head of operations at CubeLogic. We're a company that specializes in credit and market risk for mainly in the energy and commodity space.
Thank you, Alexander.
Yeah, good morning, afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexander Regnault. I'm the COO, apologies, with RadarRadar. Kind of similar to CubeLogic, our emphasis, though, is on market risk management for the commodity space.
Thank you. And Jonathan?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Alger. I'm head of the customer success group at ClearDox, which is a SaaS-based platform focused on intelligent apps that tackle the trade life cycle and automation of the trade life cycle within the commodities trading space.
Thank you. So basically, in today's world, especially with emergence of energy transition technologies and AI-driven application, data management becomes increasingly important. Any business area from trading operation, power grid applications, risk management, logistic back office, all this rely on different type of data and different data sources. We have smart meters, renewable production, market data, weather forecasts, satellite data, payment flows, and so on and so on. And in this panel, we have experts coming from companies which support very different business areas. So my first question would be, what are the drivers? What are the main drivers of data management for your respective business area? And I would like to start with Alexander, please.
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. So in our world, conversations don't necessarily start with let's manage data, but they actually start with a particular business need. A question such as help me monitor our positions, or help me with our price forecasting for our risk management. And of course, in that respect, and also how AI can play a role in that. So it's really the business need that drives it, and then data management as a necessity there. I've always had a passion for building and designing management information systems, or what some would call business intelligence or data and analytics platforms. And in all cases, there's a real common denominator there that you need to create the right insights to support the business decision making. Now, data management, again, is a big part of that. You need to be able to identify the right data, collect it, translate it. But again, I would say that the business need here is a key driver to data management.
Right. And Ellen, do you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we've seen in the energy space is that, the business landscape is shifting. There's a lot more volatility. And as a result, businesses are demanding more real-time insights into their data. We're seeing volume of data is exploding. And at the same time, people are now looking at AI and saying, well, this is introducing new possibilities for automation and analytics. It's a good time to be in technology because we have seen that technology has caught up with the demands of things like real time. We now have operational cloud architectures. We've got scalable ingestion of data. We've got, better frameworks for data. However, we then have now the complication of AI. And whilst it promises a lot in things like data cleansing, metadata management, it's still, the adoption of that is still quite slow, and it still sort of lacks human, oversight. So I agree that, it is all around the business, what the business functions are demanding, and how we marry that up with technology.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. And as a ClearDocs is a bit different business area. Would you like to add something here, Jonathan?
Sure. I mean, I think every customer that we engage with currently has a data management strategy. They're already investing in technologies to start housing, recording, reviewing their data, having the data be put in a centralized place. And it's really allowing companies to take their business needs to the next level. And if they have this base of data to work off of, it opens and unlocks doors for them that they couldn't already do. And so what really we emphasize with customers from small to big is, as you're going down the AI path or the AI strategy, you really need to first have a data management strategy. Where's your data being housed? How is it being secured? What does the business need? There's a lot of factors that are involved in all of those conversations. It's always led from a business need and a business decision, but having that fundamental data management strategy is essential in our industry.
Mm-hmm. And then let's talk about challenges, both from technical and data governance standpoint. As you already started to talk about it, would you indicate what you see as the main challenges here? Jonathan, I will start with you.
Sure. So I think some of my colleagues on the panel might disagree with me, but I think that the technology landscape is no longer the challenge for this data management process. I think there's plenty of solutions in the market that can, be able to handle customers' data, centralized data, create data warehouses, data lakes, whatever terminology you want to use. What we see is when we interact with customers, we always see that the business needs need to be worked out and it needs to be an internal decision. And it's easier said than done in a lot of situations. Some of the companies we work with are large energy trading companies that produce lots of data, let's say around inventory or movements. And really, then it becomes not so much a technology decision, but a business decision of what business do we want to work on, what business is going to add the most value with creating a data management strategy and structure. And so there are still plenty of technology challenges out there, but from our point of view, with interacting with customers, the business need is actually a big hurdle that companies need to address very early on in their strategy and in their decision making.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Do you agree, Alexander? As a CTO?
CEO, yeah. So going along with also what Jonathan said, I'd say there are a couple of challenges out there. First of all, there's more than enough data for sure. So being overwhelmed with all of that is a challenge number one. The most important one, though, that we see is the actual business understanding. Really understanding what the data means, making sure that it answers those questions around those business needs. So really working together, business and IT working together closely to make sense of it all and coming to sensible data in that design, again, of that management information system. That's where I see the major challenge. And also, and as you're dealing with a fair amount, especially in our industry, with legacy systems out there, that knowledge of the underlying databases and how actually to be able to extract that data in the right way so that it feeds any type of downstream process, that's where the major hurdles are, and where the again the particular business knowledge is critical. I'd say one other challenge, though, is the tendency maybe to do some over engineering here, some over designing for a data management structure, while in essence you're dealing with evolving questions, and it goes hand in hand with more of a trial and error approach. You need to play with the data. You need to let the data speak. You need to see, is this giving me the right insights or not? And then go back and maybe update your scope for the data extraction that you're putting together, that data model. So really allowing for more trial and error as you put these structures in place, I think is the opportunity. And then that's where the challenge now sits, with maybe some tendency for some over-design, over-engineering.
Thank you. And Ellen?
Yeah, I think what we often see is that platforms or business solutions are often embedded within specific business units. So when there's no sort of standalone enterprise solutions, then the individual business units start making decisions that may not lead, or they lead to a lack of data consolidation, and then you have this fragmented decision making. You got siloed data, and then you try to bring it together across various other systems, particularly on a risk system, which is an enterprise solution, and we see that we have many different inconsistent formats. And that's where, to Alexander's point as well, where you need IT and the business to come together to actually look at the overall data structures within the organization and make sure that you don't have this fragmented decision making. Because, when you have a lot of these operational inefficiencies, there's also gaps and data readiness delays when it comes to projects. And this often leads to, commercial needs. So I think there is an increasing willingness that we see to invest in good data governance, but the challenges are really around these legacy systems, fragmented decision making, and how to actually take what is now a mammoth amount of data and sort of put in some consistency within that data.
Okay. My next question will be very much related to what you said. So let's look at the situation from commodity company standpoint. So if I'm a vendor and I want to offer certain functionality, I go to corresponding department. When I want to offer data management platform, let's suppose the company does not have something like that. I don't have any data management department. To whom shall I go? And from the company's perspective, for example, if you have one consolidated data platform is one thing, but if you don't, so I have someone who offers credit risk and corresponding data management, which supports the data related to credit risk. Then I have market risk, and I have a data management platform related to market risk. But as a company, I need everything. I need operational support. I need also workflow automation, and I get another data management platform to support this. So what is the solution? How to bring a company to make a decision on consolidated data, and alternatively, I stay with this separate data management platform for each application. So what is the right way? And what happens if the company does not support all of this, or just ignore the need for the data management? So what is your thoughts, Ellen?
Yeah, I think technology has caught up. And I think what you have to do is start embracing that new technology. So, a lot of the integration complexity, like you say, it comes from having legacy systems. So I think you are going to have to look at moving away and from some of these legacy systems to using more modern APIs, looking at vendors that have cloud native services, because these types of technology are going to help you to start moving away from all this integration complexity you have from legacy systems. You're going to need, with all this high data volume, you're going to need scalability, you're going to need good performance, you're going to have to start transitioning your whole tech staff. So the cloud gives us lots of this, and moving to more cloud native technologies does introduce operational efficiencies, but it does require retraining, retooling, and sort of careful alignment of how you actually get to that goal, because you can't eat the elephant all at once. You really have to decide what's our formal data management, how are we going to have governance around that, and sort of how can we move this to work with vendors with more modern tech stacks, and people that are using, like I say, cloud native technologies, things like Snowflake. I think that's the start of it, and you just have to bit by bit eat the elephant rather than trying to attack it all at once.
Yeah, but modern technology is good, but CTRM systems are usually very sticky. It's very difficult to replace them, and they are legacy. So you need to start somehow bringing the data to somewhere else and building this data management possibilities. Okay, Jonathan, what is your view?
So, my team is in charge of implementing ClearDocs at all of our customers, and going along with the implementation is also integration of the different systems. To follow up on Ellen's point, when we go into a customer and we start implementing ClearDocs in one of our intelligent applications, we very quickly realize the ecosystem of the customer. And what we typically see is what Ellen was describing of we brought this system, it's being utilized and it's being isolated for this business decision. We brought this system, the two systems don't talk to each other. However, ClearDoc keeps together information from system A and from system B, relate the two informations together, and then produce information to go and integrate back to system C. So it's very fragmented, it's very isolated. And one of the things that I think companies are starting to think about is when they bring on a new technology stack, when they bring on a new software vendor, they're thinking about things more in terms of overall data management strategy. So not just what is this CTRM or this accounts payable system or this HR system, whatever it is, who's going to be interacting with that, but how does those systems interact with a data warehouse, a data lake, right? And so those are the type of things that we're starting to see with our customers. It's a shift in thinking with the heads of the IT groups of, when we start with ClearDocs, how is ClearDocs going to be able to integrate or give us data in a way that works with an existing data management solution? And so it's been quite a change over the last 2 to 3 years. And the companies, you can tell the companies who are thinking about this will be in a better position in the future because they will realize the potential of their data across different departments and be able to take advantage and analyze that data to make smarter business decisions at the end of the day.
Okay, so you see that this idea that consolidation of data is necessary, it's coming through and people start to realize it. Do you agree, Alexander?
Definitely. What we also see, though, is the reality of two worlds out there. So the first is the finance or mid-office function with the Excel junkie that maybe is also a VBA expert and now is become a Power BI champion and dabbles a bit in SQL and puts something together, identifies the demand, but it's still relatively low tech and I consider it a prototype, but for time being, it fits the purpose. But at a certain point, that reaches a tipping point and it needs to become more robust, more scalable, and security becomes an aspect as well, data security, access, etc. The other world is the IT function, which, yes, is putting together data lakes, is identifying those areas of more high demand, making sure that if there's downstream multiple questions for this particular type of data, that they make sure it is organized well. Again, the governance around it, the security is in place, and eventually those two worlds start to meet each other, and that's so. In essence, you're talking about a multidisciplinary approach between this business, the Excel junkie, and the IT. The IT brings in their expertise and governance and controls, etc., and better technology for scalability, but also the fit-for-purpose vendor, which the three together come up with the right answers here. Is there currently an actual chief data officer in the organization that we deal with? Not yet. That may come over time, but definitely the mindset around data management is starting to really permeate through the whole organization. There's a good awareness around it, but don't disregard what I was saying about the how it all starts with in the front office or middle office within the Excel junkie putting reports together as a real starting point there.
Okay, I mean the trend to the ecosystems, which we observed recently, where people look for the best of breed software tools, it's immediately makes a need for integration, and the need for integration means that the data governance must be a topic and must be considered, and this is the way how the organizations are dealing around it. Can we also conclude something like this? Okay.
I think we can all agree on that.
Thank you. So basically, thank you very much for your participation and your ideas. And I think then we can finish this on that statement. Thank you.
My pleasure.